You're replaying a conversation from 3 days ago. Not the whole conversation, just one moment, one line. The way they said it, the pause before they answered, the thing you said back, and whether it landed wrong, you know you're doing it. You know it doesn't help. And you cannot stop. Here's what nobody tells you about overthinking. It's not a character flaw. It's not even a bad habit. It's a mechanism. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's just doing it on a loop it can't turn off. Most conversations about overthinking stop at where it comes from. Your childhood, your patterns, and sure, that matters. But knowing where the loop started doesn't explain why your brain keeps running it at 2 a.m. That's what this is about. Something happens. A comment, a look, a text that feels slightly off. And your brain flags it. Not as a passing thought, as a project. This situation is important. I need to figure it out. So you turn it over. Analyze it. Run scenarios. What did they mean? What should I have said? What if they think I'm... And then you're in it. The loop. And here's the cruelest part. The loop feels productive. Every time you replay it, your brain whispers, almost there. One more angle. We're about to crack this. But you never crack it. You just get tired. Researchers call this rumination. And the word comes from how a cow chews its food. Swallow it, bring it back up, chew it again. Same material, over and over, never digesting it. That's what your brain is doing. So why can't you just stop? Your brain has two operating modes. The task-positive network, you focused, engaged, doing something, writing an email, cooking dinner, and the default mode network, or DMN. This kicks in when you're not doing anything in particular. The shower, the drive home, the dark ceiling at 2 a.m. Its job is self-referential thinking. Thinking about yourself, other people, the past, the future. The DMN is not your enemy. It's what lets you reflect, plan, understand other people's perspectives. It's the network that makes you a person and not a calculator. But for some people, particularly people prone to depression, the DMN doesn't just activate at rest. It hyperactivates. A 2015 meta-analysis by Hamilton and colleagues at Stanford found that in people with depression, there's significantly increased connectivity between the DMN and a region called the subgenual prefrontal cortex, an area involved in emotional withdrawal and negative affect. When these two regions link up, they create a circuit that is perfectly designed for rumination, self-referential thinking, plus negative emotion on repeat. Like a car in neutral with someone flooring the gas. Now, if you have ADHD, or suspect you might, there's a second layer. And this one explains why the loop feels sticky in a way other people don't seem to experience. ADHD brains have atypical dopamine function. A 2009 study by Volko and colleagues, published in JAMA, found that adults with ADHD show reduced dopamine signaling in the reward pathway, specifically areas that regulate motivation and reinforcement. When you ruminate, your brain treats that unresolved situation like a puzzle. Every new angle, every what if, gives you a tiny dopamine hit, a micro reward. Progress, your brain says. Keep going. But because ADHD brains have lower baseline dopamine, that reward system is hungrier. It craves the hits more intensely, and it doesn't register, "We've thought about this enough," the way a neurotypical brain might. Plus, ADHD involves difficulty with cognitive shifting, the ability to say, "We're done with this. Next." This is a core executive function challenge documented by Russell Barkley and others. Your brain struggles to disengage from an activated thought pattern. So you've explained something 3 different ways and watched them still not get it. And instead of thinking, They don't understand. Your brain goes, I didn't explain it right. Let me try again. Let me try again. Let me try again. Or someone's tone shifts slightly, and you can't stop scanning for what you did wrong. Not because you're insecure, because your brain flagged it as a threat it can't close. A brain that's extra motivated to stay in the loop and extra bad at exiting it. That's not weakness. That's neurology. Not all rumination is the same. And this is the part I wish someone had told me years ago. In 2003, researchers Traynor, Gonzalez, and Nolan Hoeksema published a foundational study showing that rumination isn't one thing, it's two. Brooding, the dark loop. Why does this always happen to me? What's wrong with me? Passive, circular, nowhere to go. And the research is clear. Brooding predicts increases in depression. Reflective pondering, the active kind. Why did that conversation bother me? What's the pattern here? Still repetitive, still keeps you up. But it has direction. It's attempting understanding. And reflective pondering predicts decreases in depression. Same engine, 2 gears. One digs you deeper. One can actually pull you out. The problem is, they feel identical in the moment. You can't tell which one you're doing at 2 a.m. They both feel like thinking. But one is spinning its wheels and the other is getting traction. A 2019 study published in the journal Intelligence, researchers DuPont, Carbon, Ree, Corley, Hewitt, and Friedman looked at over 750 people and measured both types of rumination against multiple tests of intelligence. Brooding? Not associated with intelligence, but reflective pondering. That second type, the one that tries to understand, was positively associated with every measure of intelligence they tested. Verbal, performance, all of it. An earlier study by Penny and colleagues in 2015 found the same thing. Once you account for depression, rumination is positively associated with verbal intelligence. This doesn't mean overthinking makes you smart. It means the capacity for deep, sustained, recursive thought. The very thing that keeps you up, that exhausts you, that makes you feel like you can't turn your brain off. That capacity is the same machinery that powers real cognitive strength. The same engine that's running you into the ground is the one that lets you read a room before anyone else noticed the temperature changed. The same habit that keeps you analyzing someone's tone is the one that lets you understand what someone's feeling before they've said a word. No 5 easy steps. You'd see through that. But here's one thing research supports. In acceptance and commitment therapy, there's a technique called cognitive diffusion. Instead of fighting the thought or analyzing it further, you change your relationship to it. You stop saying, why did they say it like that? And you start saying, my brain is generating a concern right now. Same thought, but you've moved from inside the loop to outside it. You're not trying to solve it. You're just naming what's happening. The mind cannot think its way out of every problem. Sometimes the only move is to notice the thinking and let it be there without doing anything about it. Overthinking is not a personality defect. It is not evidence of instability or weakness. Some of the most intelligent, emotionally aware people you'll ever meet are also some of the most exhausted. The exhaustion is real, but so is the intelligence. And maybe, once you know which gear you're in, your brain can finally feel safe enough to rest. If this hit, subscribe. I'm making more of these for the ones who can't turn it off.